Tennessee at Green Bay, a great Sunday night football game that held through 16 weeks. Titans trying to win the NFC South. Packers trying to hold on to the 1 seed in the NFC. The Packers are 3-point favorites against Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill, and company. Chris, you pointed out on PFT Live an intriguing angle here. Matt LaFleur, the coach of the Packers, came from the Titans. He was there for a year with Mike Vrabel as the offensive coordinator, so there's some familiarity there. Both teams have great offenses. Both teams have question marks on defenses. Could we get some sort of a special Christmas weekend shootout? Who do you like in this one? Again, Packers 3.5-point favorites, or 3 points, not 3.5. And over-under is at 56. Who do you have?
Well, I think, to what you said there at the end is what we're going to see. I would be shocked if we don't see a lot of points on the board and big plays. I really would. On both sides of the ball, it's strength versus weakness. That's where it's Rodgers and that offense. I mean, these are 2 of the 3 highest scoring offenses in football right now. I don't know if everybody realizes that. I was a little surprised when I looked at it last week going, whoa, okay, I didn't think I held them in that high of a regard. But the Packers against that Titans defense that doesn't have great pass rushers, and, of course, we see just about everybody torch them in the pass game to where I go, well, Rodgers and Devontae Adams and Aaron Jones out of the backfield and all that, they're going to have a field day. They're going to score points, left and right, no doubt about it. But the problem is, on the other side, I can guarantee that's going to happen too. I can. The Tennessee Titans offense is arguably the most explosive offense in football. They can rip off 70-yard touchdown passes and 70-yard runs unlike any other team I've ever seen. I've never seen really a team that's built through the run as explosive as the Tennessee Titans are. I mean, I thought about this. I went like, really, have we ever seen a team built through the run who could throw the ball like this or at least even balance like that? And the only one I could really even think of, Mike, was like Peyton Manning, Edgerrin James, Colts-type offenses where, yeah, Edgerrin could rip off a 40-yard run and, Peyton could throw a 40-yard bomb to Marvin Harrison just as quickly. I think, though, with that aspect, and I think I'm going to play I favor Mike Vrabel in that LaFleur versus Vrabel matchup. And the biggest reason why, Vrabel, they're a game plan specific type defense. And yeah, they're not super, super talented, but I think the Green Bay offense, which is good, I think it's good, but not like, wow, oh my gosh, I've never seen concepts like this. This is unbelievable. We saw last week, Carolina brought them to a snail's pace in that game on Saturday night. I think that the Titans will be able to break down the Packers enough to where they'll take away some of the things they like to do. I'm going Titans win the game on the road, 38-35.
I've got 30-26 Tennessee Titans winning that game. A lot of the same reasons you've discussed. The Packers are more prone to stepping in a pothole at home when they are facing a team that they should beat. But I'd like to think that they've addressed some of those issues with not having enough energy at the start of a game. They had plenty of energy on Saturday night. They were up 21-3 at halftime. It was the second half when they fell apart. But I just think that the Titans, across the board, are the better team than the Green Bay Packers. Yes, the Packers are holding the 1 seed in the NFC, but the AFC is the better conference this year.
Definitely.
And I agree with you. I think that this Tennessee Titans offense, when it's firing on all cylinders, is tough to beat. Now, they got overwhelmed by the Browns. They kind of stepped into a buzzsaw that day. They fell behind, and they tried to come back. But I think that with that division title hanging out there, and, the risk that they're going to fall out of the playoffs altogether, they're playing for more than the Packers. I think the Packers are going to get the 1 seed regardless. They can lose this game and still get the 1 seed next weekend. And the Titans, at this time of year, when everything else is equal, I'm gonna skew toward the more desperate team. And the Titans are more desperate than the Packers. The Packers don't need this one as badly as the Titans do. You throw that on top of everything else, 30-26 Titans win.
No, yeah, I think you said a lot of good things there. And, the fact that, again, me, I've been saying it all year, I've always worried about that interior part of the D-line for the Green Bay Packers. We've seen just about any team that's got somewhat of a good offense and a run game runs the ball on the Green Bay Packers. The Tennessee Titans are going to run the ball on the Green Bay Packers. And I had a few people question me this week where I saw radio, whatever. Well, the Packers defense is better than what you talk about it. It's a top 10, it's a top 10 off defense in football. Okay. Again, the Packers really haven't played any great offenses this year either. We talked about it. They've only got what was it, Mike? 2 wins against winning teams? So it's one. So
they're 1-2 against teams with winning records.
Yeah. So and it was the Saints early on when the Saints weren't even the Saints that they are now. So that's why I don't have great faith in that Packers defense. I think statistically it's overrated. And we've seen teams like the Minnesota Vikings and company a few weeks ago when they went up to Lambeau and beat them. Yeah, we got a little bit of a pass game and a run game. The Green Bay can't stop you. So I just don't trust the Packers. There's something about the Packers. I think we kind of said it all about an 11-3 football team just like last year where I just don't buy they're as good as their record. I'm sorry. I want to root for them. I'm rooting for Aaron Rodgers, but I think he's the only elite thing they have on the football team, the truly elite thing they have.
So doesn't this tell you that they're going to have a hell of a time in the playoffs if you have these concerns about them against one of the better teams in the NFL?
No doubt.
They're going to have a rough time with the NFC teams?
To me, it's going to be about the matchups, But we, like last year, again, we saw the Seattle Seahawks coming to town. They weren't supposed to be as good as Green Bay, and Aaron Rodgers had to make 2 or 3 unbelievable throws at the end of the game for them to win the game. I don't feel confident with Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers, even though they're the number 1 seed. I certainly don't sit here and just go, well, they're definitely going to the Super Bowl, or they'll at least be in the NFC Championship game. No, depending on who comes to town in week 1, they could lose their first game very easily.
Well, if they beat the Titans, I may feel differently about that, but then I also may feel that the letdown is still looming. It's almost like let's get one out of our systems and remind ourselves how it feels to be flat, how it feels to not have enough energy, how it feels to get beaten in a game that we think we should win, so they are on guard when it's time to play in the divisional round. And then whoever it is, the Buccaneers beat them 38-10. It's going to be a different setting altogether if it's Buccaneers at Packers. But Tom Brady knows a thing or two about playing in the cold in January. He's made a career out of doing just that.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.